Right, we're here. We did it. It's pregame. It's pregame Sunday. Woo!
Hell yeah! Woo!
Yeah. What a matchup we got ahead of ourselves.
It's a big one. You know, when you're fighting for the playoffs really start a few weeks before they officially kick off. And this you can consider a playoff game.
Yeah, it is a playoff game. It's a horrifying playoff game against a very, very good team.
Well, again, I do think the Bucs are a little bit overrated. You know, they are loaded with talent, both sides of the ball. The record doesn't really show how good they should be. But you look at it from a matchup perspective, this is a horrible matchup for the Vikings. Just where the Bucs are strong is where we're weak. And you really couldn't ask for a worse matchup for the Vikings right now.
Yeah, if I am the Bucs right now going into this game, I'm feeling very, very good about myself. Coming off a bye, and like you said, they're fantastic against the run. That is where we thrive. I think I was listening to something. The last time they gave up a 40-yard rusher was like week 1 or something. It was like to Christian McCaffrey. That's terrifying.
Well, Delvin will get 40 yards rushing because we will give him the ball 40 times. I guarantee you.
Yeah, he might get the ball 40 times, but between that defense and Dalvin Cook kind of doing a little bit of a tallying off here at the end.
And why is he doing that? It's because the O-line has been pure shit in the last 3-4 games. They're getting outmatched physically. They're getting pushed around. After we kind of thought they were turning the corner, they've regressed. So, yeah, I think the O-line's failed them a little bit. So, again, there is ways the Vikings can win this game. They just have to execute flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've really regressed. I think the Dakota Dozier is just one of the worst offensive linemen ever.
Maybe they just weren't ever that good. And I know maybe I got too excited for them when they started playing better, but so maybe they got just peaked a little bit and then came back to where they normally were.
Well, SSM Creations is pinpoint accuracy this morning. So we need a big performance from our corners and pass rush. That's actually nice of him to consider what we have a pass rush. So that's nice.
Yeah.
But big news, DJ Wanham is. Let's go over the inactives. Vikings. Yeah. KJ Osborne appears that they are just going to flip a coin every week to see if he is active or not. He is not active. What else we got? Alexander Madison, we knew he wasn't going to be playing. Dylan Mabin, cornerback, inactive. Eric Kendricks, the one that hurts the most, the one that stings, is inactive. Oli Udo, inactive every damn week. And Kyle Rudolph, inactive. So that is Vikings inactives.
Yeah, no real surprises other than KJ Osborne. And I don't know, as far as punt returns go, I don't know if I feel better with KJ out there or with Chad Beebe out there. Whoever, maybe they'll try somebody new. I don't know who it would be. But right now, I'm very curious to see who will be punting, who will be returning punts. And like you said a couple weeks ago, maybe we just let that thing hit the ground and run away from it like it's a flipping grenade.
Just let it bounce around. As far as the Bucs, they're inactives. Hold on your hats. Quarterback Ryan Griffin is inactive. So there is a chance the Vikings could win. The surprising one, healthy scratch, Leonard Fournette, inactive.
Yeah, so I don't know what we can see. Keyshawn Vaughn, LaShawn McCoy, a lot of Ronald Jones, I'm sure. So the way the Vikings have been against the run lately, if you have Ronald Jones in any fantasy, I would start him for sure, no doubt. Expect quite a bit of production from him. I think the Bucs will pound this thing. And if they get up big, you know, Ronald Jones is going to get a big old load shot all over him.
Yeah, Ronald Jones could be he could be headed to a pretty nice game here, especially without Kendricks. No offense, hot Todd Davis, but Kendricks off his defense is terrifying. Other inactives for the Bucs, Tanner Hudson, do not know who that is. Khalil Davis, Jeremiah Ledbetter, and cornerback Jamal Dean, which is nice because he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, that is nice. So, you know, Irv Smith is back, which is something we didn't really mention. I think you put him on Devin White, who supposedly is horrible in pass coverage. Could be some chance for the Vikings to move the ball there. You know, Thielen Jefferson will get theirs. Jamal Dean out. That definitely helps. So some of these do help the Vikings out. But again, there's just so many weapons on the Tampa Bay defense or offense that you can mean very much worries me.
A Barbs predicts the Vikings will win 36-35. He predicts Dan Bailey will miss all 6 PATs. That is not nice, but he does get us getting the win.
Well, if he misses 4, let's hope we just start going for 2. I don't think Zimmer's that much of a leash with any of these special teamers.
It's his comeback game, Dan Bailey's comeback game.
Yeah. The Bucs coming off a bye, knowing that they're really have a lot of advantages over the Vikings when it comes to the matchups. Let's hope they're a little overconfident. Let's hope they maybe overlook the Vikings. And they're 6-6. No real reason that they should be doing that, but teams do get confident too. Teams do get a little bit of that hubris going. So maybe they overlook the Vikings. The Vikings come out, pop them in the mouth, which they haven't always done this year.
No, I think this game we'll be able to tell in the first couple series which way this game is going. So yeah, God, just looking at this offense, I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, even Tyler Johnson against our secondary, I don't see how they're not going to put up just a shit ton of points.
Well, and then that's. You look at what the Vikings have done with rookies this year. Jeremy Chin scores 2 touchdowns. Laviska Shenault was on pace for a huge game last week until he got hurt. James Robinson did well. Vikings always make rookies look good. So I'm expecting a big game from Tyler Johnson and Antoine Winfield Jr. Just the way it's what the Vikings do. They make rookies look amazing.
I want Kirk Cousins coming out fired up. When they start this game, I want to have them show us a clip of Kirk Cousins doing one of his jacking the team up speeches, coming out fire up his ass. If he doesn't, it's over.
I'm glad you were jacking up here when you were talking jacking.
Fire out of his ass. Come on, Cousins.
Yeah, let's hope so. I don't know. When was the last time the Vikings came out and were hitting on all cylinders right from the start? Maybe the Detroit game. It just hasn't been the Vikings' MO this year. They're kind of slow starters. I look at last week, they didn't really wake up till the second half. But another thing I want to talk about, again, we've seen some weird shit lately. And I think back-to-back weeks, something odd has happened. The Vikings have given up 2 defensive touchdowns defensive touchdowns in back-to-back games. You missed extra points last week. I think there was something else goofy. It's just been some weird games. So I'm wondering if that trend is going to continue or we're going to see some weird shit again today.
Well, and as great as the Bucs, as we're talking the Bucs up and saying how they could absolutely come out and just smoke us, the Bucs have had some turds themselves. They lost to the Bears. They've had some close games against not very good teams. And it seems like the Bucs show up all in where they just completely destroy the team or they come out with a full turd. They're kind of like the Vikings, but just maybe a little bit better.
Well, let's not forget, Tom Brady will throw that ball up for grabs. He's made some very, very poor throws in recent weeks. So there definitely is a chance for Harrison Smith, Anthony Harris, Jeff Gladney to get that first interception for him. But I think there will be some opportunities for the Vikings to get some interceptions. And they're going to need that, I think, to win this game, win the turnover battle, get some game-changing, field-flipping positions that help this team out.
Field flipping.
Yeah, thank you.
Great term. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
One player that you already mentioned, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do as the number 1, Irv Smith. Signs were pointing to him possibly not playing. He's active. So this could be the Irv Smith breakout party. And I'm going to be bringing beers to that party.
Well, let's hope so. We've been waiting for this now for 2 years. At this point, it's fair to wonder if he's ever going to put it all together. He's missed games. He just hasn't been productive. Earlier this year, he was making horrible penalties. Last year, every time he had a big play, it was like it was getting called back. The talent is there. We just haven't seen it all put together. Where his numbers are right now through a year and a half, that's what I was expecting from his rookie season. So this guy, to me, is far beyond or far below the pace I expected for him in his Vikings career so far.
Well, he had a good rookie season. I mean, he had the best rookie season for a rookie tight end for the Vikings ever. It's not bad.
Wasn't that great?
I'll give him a little bit of a pass. He's been a letdown this year. Yes, I say that, but this is his chance. This is his moment. Another guy who it might be his moment. Do you think we see some more Jordan Brailford this week?
I hope so. I mean, that guy showed some pass rush ability, something no one else seems to be able to do besides DJ Wanham on occasion. And another thing I do have to say, not only Brailford, but Adenabo came out. We actually seen him unsheath the sword for like the first time since maybe week 2 or 3. He played better, so let's hope those two can build off their great games last week. But why not? Why not put Brailford out there, see what he can do, see if he can make it back-to-back weeks. And I do see your boy, the Ginger Snap, is active today.
I was just going to say that. Ginger Snap active. James Lynch. I smell him getting a sack on Tom Brady, and it'll just make his career.
He probably reeks.
James Lynch probably reeks.
Yes.
Yeah, reeks of just domination. Brent Campbell from Tennessee in the house. Vikings fan since 1974.
Wow. Thanks for being here, Brent. 1974. He's probably been through a lot of pain.
1974. I was still bouncing from nut to nut.
Yeah, so was I. Thank God I didn't come out during a wet dream.
Well, yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that didn't happen as well. But this game, a lot of it's going to come down to Mr. Todd Davis, hot Todd Davis in the middle. He's got some big shoes to fill. He didn't have a bad week last week.
He didn't. I think he had quite a few tackles. Let's hope he's a little better in pass coverage. You know they're going to try to get Gronk open over the middle, expose that mismatch. So definitely something Todd Davis had to rise to the occasion. I also make sure that I have one of those safeties creeping over that way, being ready for that. Anthony Harris is probably a little bit better in coverage, pure coverage standpoint than Harrison Smith. So I would maybe have him creep up, keep an eye on Gronk. But then you got to worry about those guys on the outside. And then even Antonio Brown, he could get deep on us. So there's a lot of things to worry about here.
Yeah, a lot of things to worry about. We'll see what happens. Maybe this will be Mike Zimmer's best game ever. The Bucs, Jason Pierre-Paul, guy who just seems to never age. He's having a good year, 8.5 sacks. I expect some issues with him. And their defense, we know their linebackers, Devin White, Levante David, they can get in there. Shaq Barrett, it's just crazy. And you already mentioned Antoine Winfield. While it would be nice to watch him play as a pro, I hope he has his worst game yet as a pro.
Yeah, I do too. And, this might be it. The Vikings' last shot at Tom Brady to beat him. Never have before. So hopefully that's a little extra motivation. This team really shouldn't need any motivation. You win this game, you put yourself at 7-6 in great spot to make the playoffs with the Bears and the Lions coming up on the schedule. If they lose this game, their playoff hopes are probably still very much alive because, the Cardinals play the Giants and the Niners, I think, lost last week. That definitely hurt. So I think they're going to be alive either way. Definitely you want to win this game because if you're going to go anywhere in the playoffs, a team like this, the team you got to be able to beat. So, a lot of pressure on the Vikings today.
Yeah, talk about a momentum swinging game for each team. The Bucs coming off 2 losses. Yes, they were against good teams, but a lot of questions for the Bucs. And the Vikings, if they were somehow to pull off this win, I think it would be fairly legit for Vikings fans to get a little excited to beat a team like this in a must-win on the road.
Yeah, I think the only team with a winning record the Vikings have beat this year is the Green Bay Packers. They were close against Tennessee, close against Seattle. You could have argued that they should have won both those games. So really the Vikings have played well against good teams. So maybe they will come out, match these guys. Again, it does hurt losing players like Kendricks and Rudolph, but you know what? That's why you have 53 guys. You got others who can come up and play.
53 guys, one of which is James Lynch. Yes. We got a few other talkers to talk about before we wrap this up, but make sure to come back after the game for the post-game studs, turds. We will break this down. We will be very excited, reeking of cheap beer because of a Vikings victory, upsetting the world.
Yeah. One guy I want to talk about, I want to see have a game today is Troy Dye, another rookie I've been waiting on. We've talked about what he looks like out there, and we all know what he looks like. He should maybe be hauling the water or something. It looks like a kid putting on a player's uniform for a pitcher. Just doesn't look like a linebacker out there, but it's time. He was a 4th round pick. We've seen these guys, rookies, all the way down to round 3, make some plays, even round 4. DJ Wanham. It's time for Troy Dye to have his game. He should have plenty of opportunities today. I want to see like an 8 tackle game, a couple tackles for a loss, and half a sack. That's the bottom line I want from Troy Dye today.
Wow, that's some pretty high expectations for Troy Dye. I just hope that a win for me when it comes to Troy Dye is he has a elbow pad or maybe even some gloves on, something that makes him not the generic guy out there. Maybe a visor, something. Maybe it's the number 45.
I want him to have a big shoulder roll out there. There's big old school ones.
Big Christian Okoye, big shoulder pad bump, whatever the hell you call that thing. Something. But yeah, Troy Dye, this is the game for some unsung hero to step up. There's a lot of guys out. And, I keep coming back to James Lynch, even though it's not going to happen, but I really hope he just has a sack today.
What is he going to do? He'll probably get 6 snaps.
Well, 6 of them in 3 pressures. Look at Jordan Brailford last week, 11 snaps. He had, fumble recovery, 2 pressures. It was beautiful. One guy we haven't talked about on the Bucs that could be a big pain in our ass is their tight end, the old man, Rob Gronkowski.
Well, yeah, I mean, Todd Davis can be matched up with him on the Bucs. I'm going to that very often. Look what the Vikings did last week against James O'Shaughnessy and Tyler Eifert. I mean, I think they combined for over 100 yards receiving, and they kept going back that over and over again. So Gronk is much better than either one of those guys. And then even got Cameron Brate, who is no slouch either. So I'm expecting big games for the Bucs tight ends today, just because Eric Kendricks is not playing.
God, why do you keep reminding me? Eric Wilson, hopefully he steps up. The Bucs offensive line, touch on that quick. They're pretty damn good too. They got their rookie Tristan Wirfs having a very good year. Ali Marpet, which I always say Marpet, but it's Marpet. It's very tough to get around that. And then they got Donovan Smith. So they got some very good offensive linemen against our very bad defensive line. But DJ Wanham is back. Seeing a nice sack from him would get me very excited.
And Tom Brady is a hard quarterback to sack. He knows when to step up, knows when to throw the ball away. And I'm pretty sure he'll get 1 or 2 sympathy flags from the refs because he's Tom Brady. It happens every time.
That's it.
So expect that. Expect to see that. If I'm Tom Brady, or if I'm young guy sacking Tom Brady, I'm going to say the nastiest shit I can think of in his ear when he's on the ground.
Poor Tom. He might get sad. Well, final. I mean, bold prediction for the game.
Bold prediction. I'm going to back off our blowout last week. I'm going to say this game's going to be closer than we think. Vikings are going to be in it toward the end. And Irv Smith's I'm actually have 2 here. Irv Smith's going to have the game we've been waiting for.
Wow. I'm going to say that Dalvin Cook rushes for over 80 yards against this fantastic run defense. And that's bold.
If you're going to go out and say it's bold, then I guess I'll give it to you.
I appreciate that. I also have him going in fantasy. This is playoffs. I can't think of a worse matchup. So Dalvin Cook is going to show up and get some yards on the ground. And God, Dakota Dozier, he needs to step. He needs to have a bounce back game. Any sort of bounce back game that's possible for Dakota Dozier to have, he's got to have it this game. If he plays like he did last week, Kirk Cousins might be dead.
Well, and as far as we know, he's starting. There's no change to put Bush Jones there. So, again, why the Vikings are so stubborn with their O-line, I'll never understand. It's not like you have these established starters. Why are you so hell-bent on putting the same guys out there and expecting different results? I would have seen enough last week to make me put Bush in there. But, again, they took the razor out, and they're going with Dakota.
Yeah, SSM Creations bold prediction. Troy Dye gets a pick and 6 tackles. Keep those bold predictions coming in. That is a bold prediction. Everybody's on the Troy Dye bandwagon this week. I just don't have high hopes for him. I wish I did.
Maybe let's not forget, this is a former division game here. We're not that far off from the Bucs were part of the NFC Central back in the day. So a lot of bad blood between these teams. A lot of bad blood. Yes,
Cody Fullen, absolutely. Dozier is awful. Why they don't put Brett Bush Jones in is the biggest mystery in the world.
He's got a new name now. It's Breast Jones.
Breast Jones. I would love to see Breast Jones out there, but I don't think that's going to happen unless an injury. And we would never wish an injury upon anybody.
It won't do it. It just won't do it. No, I'm not going to wish an injury upon anybody. Ain't my style. It's the holiday.
With Rudolph out, Irv Smith going in the starting lineup, we might see a little extra dose of Tyler Konkadonk as well. That never hurts.
I wouldn't be surprised if actually he I just predicted a big line for Irv Smith Jr., but if he actually gets more receptions because maybe he's healthier, been in practice all week fully, so maybe he's ready to go. Again, if it's not Irv Smith Jr., this could be the game you've been waiting for, the Tyler Conklin breakout.
I've been waiting for that breakout game for years. Deserves it just like his days in Central Michigan.
I think you just won enough when we actually drafted him and you had talked about him for like 2 months. So
when we drafted him, it was shocking. Round 5. It wasn't even on the radar. I was thinking maybe in the next round, but sure enough, there he came. Corey Mountain predicts Gladney first NFC. I'm pretty sure he meant INT, but we'll take that.
I like it. I don't know what NFC means in that situation, but I have a couple guesses.
Yes, and Cody Fullen, this is absolutely a playoff game. David Nelson predicting a pick for Cam Danzler. That would be all right. 2 games back-to-back. That would get my parts happy.
Good question here. Who's going to return punts? My guess is going to be Chad Beebe, just because the way the Vikings are. They don't like to make big changes. I don't even know who else would. I mean,
Beebe, Abdullah, that's about it.
We should just get nutty and put like Bush Jones back there. Why not?
Yeah, I don't want anyone returning punts ever again. I'm shocked that they have not called Marcus Sherrills. He'd be out there in a second.
He would be, but remember, he did bobble one in the playoff game against the Niners last year, so I don't think he's any more dependable.
That's not accurate. He's definitely dependable. All right, what's your final score? Final score prediction.
Final score, I'm gonna say Bucs 31, Vikings 23.
It's closer. You changed your mind a little bit. You must have warmed up a little bit to this game.
I have a little bit. Just looking at the Vikings' past history this year against good teams, they've hung in there. They played well, so I think they're going to play a little better. And maybe we were getting a little too high on the Bucs.
Yeah, I think as much as it hurts my purple heart, and I hope I'm very wrong when we come back for our post game, but I think the Bucs win by about 10, 13 points. But hopefully it's closer. It all depends on how. If they can get Dalvin Cook going at all depends on if we can get any sort of pass rush whatsoever. If there's no pass rush and Tom Brady's back there looking at all these 4-5 fantastic options, he's gonna pick apart this young secondary. There's no doubt about it.
And we got to give Kirk Cousins time. The line has to hold up. You got Jason Pierre-Paul coming down on the one side. Shaq Barrett can get behind the line of scrimmage as well. There's going to be plenty of blitzes coming, plenty of pressure. Vikings line has to hold up. And again, Kubiak has to plan for that 3-step drop, shotgun, get the ball out quick. Kirk Cousins has to have that internal clock ticking fast. I don't think he's going to have a lot of time today to throw that ball.
Kirk Cousins, after the first series or second series, and we're 3-0 or something like that, and he walks back with his head down or just has that goofy look on his face, we're going to know it's over.
Wow.
Deer in headlights. You can tell when Kirk Cousins is into the game.
He's not like sad Eli.
He's a lot of predictions coming in. A lot of Bucs. These scores seem pretty fair. A lot of Bucs winning by about a touchdown or so. A lot of points. Expect a lot of points.
Everyone I see has the Vikings winning.
Huh?
Everyone I see has the Vikings winning. Someone even thinks Chris Boyd is going to go off today.
If Chris Boyd goes off today, what a comeback story. If he goes off today and makes any sort of plays, they should make a movie about it.
He's due. Nice. He's due to catch one of these balls. It's going to happen.
Nice Disney film of him coming back, the redemption, where he actually catches the interception and like closes out a game or something.
Call it Doink.
Call it Doink. Disney Productions. Doink.
Disney Plus next year.
I'd watch that. All right. Well, as we said, make sure to come back post game. We will have our studs. We'll have our turds. We'll be breaking down everything, and hopefully we'll have big, shiny smiles on her face with a Vikings victory at 7-6. I can't think of anything better.
I can't either. What a gift that would be. The best Christmas gift we could ask for. Beating Tom Brady.
And a Saints win on Christmas Day, right?
Hell yeah.
All right. We'll be back after the game. Any final words?
No, just be sure to